There was a man named Job who lived in the region of Uz. He was a very honest man, a man of his word, completely devoted to God and hating evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and was very rich, owning 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 donkeys and servants as far as the eye could see. In fact, he was the most important man in all the East. His sons used to throw parties at their homes, and always invited their 3 sisters to celebrate with them. After the parties, Job would get up very early and offer a sacrifice for each of his children, because he thought perhaps one of them had sinned, despising God in his heart. Job constantly offered sacrifices in case any of his children had committed sin. One day, when the angels came to give an account to the Eternal, Satan, the accuser, came with them. The Eternal looked at Satan and asked, "Where have you been?" Satan answered the Lord, "I have been all over the earth to see how things are going." The Lord said to Satan, "Have you noticed my servant Job? There is no one like him, honest and true to his word, completely devoted to God and a hater of evil." Satan replied, "So the Lord thinks that Job is like this out of pure goodness of heart? Well, no one is that good. The Lord spoils him like a child, takes care of everything so that no harm comes to him, his family, or his wealth, and even blesses everything he does. So who would not be faithful? But what would happen if you took everything he has? Surely he would curse the Lord openly, without a shadow of a doubt." The Lord replied, "Very well, then we will see. Go ahead. Do whatever you want with everything he has, just don't hurt him." Then Satan left the presence of the Lord. Sometime later, while Job's sons were gathered at the eldest's house for another feast, a messenger came running to Job and said, "The oxen were plowing the land and the donkeys were grazing in the field near us when the Sabaeans attacked. They stole the animals and killed all the workers. I am the only one who survived to tell what happened." The man was still speaking when another messenger arrived and said, "Lightning fell from the sky and struck down the sheep and the shepherds. I am the only one who survived to tell what happened." He had not finished speaking when another messenger arrived with more news. 3 groups of Chaldeans came and attacked the camels and massacred the laborers. I am the only one who survived to tell what happened. While he was still speaking, another messenger arrived and said, "Your sons were having a feast at their eldest brother's house when a hurricane came from the desert and destroyed the entire house. The young men were struck and killed. I am the only one who survived to tell what happened." Job stood up, tore his clothes, shaved his head, and threw himself on the ground. There, prostrate, he praised God. "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will return to the bosom of the earth. The Eternal gives, the Eternal takes away. May the name of God be praised forever." Even though he was struck by so much misfortune, Job did not sin or blame God for anything. One day, when the angels came to give an account to the Eternal, Satan also appeared. The Eternal looked at Satan and asked, "And you? Where have you been?" Satan answered the Eternal, "I have been everywhere to see how things were on earth." The Eternal said, "There is no one like Job. He is an honest man who is true to his word, totally consecrated to God, and who hates evil. How upright he is! You even tried to destroy him, but it didn't work." Satan answered, "A man would do anything to save his own life. So what would happen if you took his health? He would certainly curse the Lord openly without a shadow of a doubt." The Eternal said, "Very well, then we will see. Go ahead, you can do whatever you want to him, but be careful not to take his life." Satan left the presence of the Eternal and attacked Job with a terrible disease. Job was covered in sores from head to toe. They itched and hurt so much that he took a piece of broken pottery to scrape the sores while sitting in the ashes. Then his wife said, "And you still maintain your integrity? Curse God and end it at once." But he replied, "You don't know what you are talking about. Have you lost your mind, woman? We receive good things from God. Why should we not receive bad things as well? And despite everything, Job did not sin. When 3 of Job's friends heard about his suffering, they left their homes: Eliphaz from Teman, Bildad from Shuah, and Zophar from Naamath. Together, they went to comfort and console Job. When they saw him, they could hardly believe what they were seeing. Their friend was unrecognizable. They wept in grief, tore their clothes, and threw dirt on their heads to show their pain. Then they sat down with him on the ground. They stayed there for 7 days and 7 nights, without saying a word, because they could see that their friend was suffering too much. Finally, Job broke his silence and cursed himself aloud. "Blot out the day I was born, forget the night I was conceived. Let that day be turned into darkness, and let God above forget what happened. Blot it out of the books. Let the darkest darkness overtake the day of my birth. Let it be shrouded in mist and swallowed up by night. Let darkness overtake the night I was conceived. Blot it out of the calendar, and let it never again be counted as any other day. Let that night be reduced to nothing, and let no shout of joy from that night ever be heard. Let the masters of curses curse that day, and let it be swallowed up by the sea monster, Leviathan. Let its morning stars lose their brightness, and wait for the light of day that never comes. May they never see the light of dawn again. Why did you not keep me from coming from my mother's womb? Why do I live this life full of woe? Why didn't I die at birth, when I left my mother's womb? There were arms to hold me and breasts to feed me. I could now rest in peace, sleep forever without pain, next to kings and authorities in ruins, or even with powerful men full of gold and silver. Why wasn't I buried as soon as I was born, like an aborted baby who never saw the light of day? There, the wicked no longer bother, and the weary finally have the rest they deserve. There, prisoners sleep peacefully and are no longer awakened by the noise of the gods. Rich and poor, simple and powerful are there, and slaves are free from their masters. Does God care about giving birth to the wretched? Why does he let a person full of bitterness live? Those who desperately desire death cannot. Those who seek it more than the greatest treasure in the world consider the day of their death the happiest day of their lives. What is the meaning of life when it no longer makes sense? Why does God allow us to live if he has closed all the exits? Instead of food, only tears come to me. Instead of water to drink, I am served groans of anguish. My worst fears have come true. What I feared most has happened. My rest is disturbed and my peace is destroyed. No rest is left to me, and death has invaded my life. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered, "Would you mind if I said something? In such circumstances, it is difficult to keep quiet. You yourself have done it many times. You have spoken words that have enlightened and encouraged those who were on the verge of giving up. Your words have given strength to those who were staggering and new hope to those who were on the verge of collapse. But now that it is you, you are discouraged. When you are struck, you are distressed. Should not your godly life give you confidence? Should not your exemplary life give you hope? Stop and think. Has any truly innocent person ever ended in misfortune? Or has any truly upright person ever been lost in the end? For I see that those who cultivate evil and sow misfortune reap exactly that. One breath of God and they fall, one blast of his wrath and there is nothing left of them. Even the mighty lion, king of beasts, who has a fearful roar, is useless without teeth. For without teeth they are without prey, and their cubs must fight for their survival. A word came to me in secret, like a whisper that reached my ears. It came one night in a frightful dream after I had fallen into a deep sleep. Fear and terror stared me in the face. I shuddered from head to foot, and dread overcame me. A spirit was there and made my hair stand on end. I cannot describe what appeared. There was a figure before me, and in the silence I heard a muffled voice. How could a mere mortal be more righteous than God? How could man be purer than his creator? For if God did not trust even his servants, nor even applaud his angels, how much more in beings made of clay, more fragile than a moth, who live today and disappear tomorrow, and no one notices, for they vanish without a trace. Just as when the tent pegs are sawn, the tent collapses. We die and are no wiser for having lived. Ask for help, Job, if you think anyone will answer. To which of the holy angels will you appeal? The resentment of the foolish is what kills him. The envious anger of the reckless is what disgraces him. I myself have seen the irresponsible man who laid a foundation, and suddenly his house is cursed. His children are outside, mistreated and exploited, and there is no one to help him. To defend them, hungry, homeless people plunder their crops, empty the fields, taking even the thorns. Dissatisfied with what you have, do not blame luck when things go wrong. Misfortune does not come from nowhere. Mortals are born to misfortune as surely as sparks fly upward. If I were you, I would run to God and throw myself into his arms of mercy, for he is great and his deeds are ineffable. There is no limit to his miracles. He sends rain on the vast earth, sends water to irrigate the fields. He raises up the humble, gives security to the afflicted. He thwarts the plans of the crafty, who fail to achieve their intended result. He catches the cunning in their own plot. Their plans are swept away like rubbish. They are disoriented as if cast into darkness, and they cannot see even to put one foot in front of the other. But God saves the oppressed from the plots of death and the iron fist. Thus the poor have hope, while injustice is utterly destroyed. How blessed is he whom God corrects. Take heed, do not despise the discipline of the Almighty. True, he wounds, but he also binds up the wound. He bruises, but his hand also heals. He delivers you from one disaster after another. No matter what calamity, evil will not reach you. In calamity, you will not let famine overtake you. In war, you will not be pierced by the sword. You will be protected from evil gossip and will live without fear in the face of catastrophe. You will not worry about disaster or famine, and you will walk fearlessly among wild animals. You will get along with rocks and mountains, and wild animals will become your good friends. You will know that your place on earth is secure, and you will look upon your possessions and find no lack of anything. You will see your children grow up and become numerous. You will have a beautiful family that will flourish like the grass of the field. You will live long and be like the golden grain that is gathered in due season. This is how it is, tried and tested. So listen for your own good. Follow my advice. Job answered, If my affliction could be heavy, if I could pile up all the burden of bitterness, it would be heavier than all the sand of the sea. No wonder I am bellowing like a beast going to the slaughter. The arrows of the Almighty are stuck in me, and I have had to endure all the poison. He has poured it all upon me. Donkeys bray and cows low when they have no pasture, so do not expect me to keep quiet. Do you see what God has done to me? The suffering is so great that I cannot eat anything. I have lost my appetite. My stomach is upset. I feel totally rejected. All I want to do is post a prayer, a last request to be honored. If only God would crush me and finish me off once and for all, I would at least have the satisfaction of not blaspheming the holy God before I am taken beyond my limits. Where is the strength to keep my hope alive? What future do I have that makes me want to continue? Do you think I am as strong as stone? Do you think I am made of iron? Do you think I can stand up by myself? I have no strength left. Someone desperate for friends should be supported, even if he gives up trusting in the Almighty. But my brothers are like streams in the desert. One day they are filled with water from the melted ice and snow that run down from the mountains. But by midsummer they are dry, a sun-baked crater. Travelers see them and go off their route, thinking they are going to quench their thirst, but they find only a waterless hole and die of parched throats. The caravans of merchants from Tema hope to find water. Tourists from Seba long for a cool drink. They approach with hope, but what a disappointment. When they arrive, they find dry land. And you, my friends, are no better. You have done nothing to help. You see my plight and all you do is cringe in fear. It is not that I asked for anything. I have not asked for a single penny, nor have I begged you to make any sacrifice for my sake. So why so many sophistries and evasive words? Show me something indisputable and I will keep quiet. If you know so much, tell the truth. The truth may hurt, but do you have the courage to give me an honest answer? You point out what is wrong in my life, but you respond to my anguish with idle talk. Are people mere objects to you? Are friends like commodities? Look me in the eye, please. Would I lie to you? Do not be unfair now. Do not be ambivalent. Think carefully. My integrity is at stake. Can you detect falsehood in what I say? Do you not think I am capable of discerning good from evil? Isn't life a struggle? Isn't it like being under hard slavery? Like the workers in the fields who wait anxiously for the end of the day? Like those who have nothing to look forward to but the day of pay? I am given over to a life that wanders and gets nowhere. Months of deceit, nights of anguish and misery. I go to bed and think, how long until I have to get up? I toss and turn all night. I can't stand it anymore. My body is covered with worms and scabs. My skin is scaly and hard. The pus never stops leaking. My days pass faster than the hands of the most skilled weaver. They go on to the end without hope. God, do not forget that I am but a breath. These eyes have seen goodness for the last time. And have you seen my end? Keep looking, but there will be nothing left to see. As a cloud evaporates and disappears forever, those who go to the grave never return to their family, never return. Their friends will never be found again. And so I will not keep silent. I will speak out loud and clear my complaint against heaven. It is very bitter but honest. Do you want to put a gag on me, as if I simply wish the storm would stop and the sea would calm down? When I think, I will go to bed, and who knows, a nap will do me good. Nightmares come to frighten me, and visions to terrify me. I would rather be hanged and die than go on like this, living. I despise this life. Who needs it? Leave me alone. My life is worthless. It is nothing but smoke. What are mortals that you care about them and spend part of your day with them? Why do you come every morning to see how they are? Will you never stop looking at me? Will you not leave me alone, even so that I can breathe? Even if I have sinned, how can that hurt you? When you are greater than all and responsible for all men. Why have I become your most important target? Why don't you simply forgive my sins and start over with me? The way things are going, I will soon be dead. You will look up and down, but I will no longer be around. Bildad the Shuahite began to speak. How long will you keep talking like this? You are talking nonsense, such nonsense. Does God make mistakes? Does the Almighty ever let anything slip? Of course your children have sinned against him, otherwise why would God have punished them? Know what you must do. Kneel before the Almighty. If you are as innocent and righteous as you say, it is not too late. He will come running and make things right again, restore everything. Even if you do not believe it now, you will be better off than you have ever been before. Take the matter to your ancestors. Study what they have learned from their ancestors. We have much to learn, for we are newcomers, and life is so fleeting that we have no time. So why not let our ancestors teach us their wisdom and instruct us in what they know by experience? Can mango trees grow without soil? Can delicious tomatoes exist without water? Are not flowers beautiful before they are picked? But without soil or water, they wither faster than grass. This is what happens to those who forget God. Their hope comes to nothing. Their life hangs by a thread, for all their trust is in things as fragile as a spider's web. One shake and the thread breaks. One tries to hold on to it, and the thread gives way. Or are they like thorns that spring up in broad daylight, invading the garden, spreading everywhere, spoiling the flowers and clinging even to the rocks? But when the gardener pulls them out by the roots, the garden does not even notice their absence. The sooner the wicked are gone, the better. Then the good plant can grow in its place. God cannot reject the good, and he certainly does not help the wicked. God will make you laugh again. You will still jump for joy. Your enemy will be in trouble, and he will see his house of cards crumble. Job began again. So what is new? I know all this. The question is, How can a mere mortal really be righteous in God's eyes? If we wanted to plead our case before him or argue, what chance would we have? Not 1,000. God's wisdom is so deep. God's power so immense. Who could try to resist and still come out intact? He makes the mountains shake before they know what is happening. When he pleases, he shakes them and turns everything upside down. He can shake the earth until its foundations are shaken. He says to the sun, "Do not shine," and it ceases to shine. He covers the light of the stars. Alone, he stretches out the heavens and walks on the waves of the sea. He designed the Great Bear, Orion, the Pleiades, and the Southern Cross. We can never comprehend all this greatness. His amazing miracles cannot be counted. He moves before me, and I do not see him. His presence is silent, but real, and I do not perceive it. If he takes something without being noticed, who can stop him? Who is to say what he is doing? When he is angry, nothing can stop him. Even the greatest and most fearsome of monsters cowers before him. So how can I argue with him? How can I present a defense before God? Even if I am innocent, I could never argue. I can only throw myself at his feet and beg for the judge's mercy. Even if I appealed to God and he answered me, he still would not believe. Thus I am tossed about, and the wounds multiply without reason. I cannot even run away, and the suffering only increases. And for what? So that everyone can see that he is stronger. He plays with me as if to humiliate and intimidate me. Even if I am innocent, everything I say incriminates me. Even if I am completely blameless, defending myself will do no good. Believe me, I am innocent. I cannot understand what is happening. What is the point of life? It is all the same. There is no difference. For God destroys both what is evil and what is good and honest. When calamity strikes, it brings sudden death. He folds his arms, insensitive to the despair of the innocent. He allows the wicked to take control of the world. Appoints judges who do not discern right from wrong. If he is not responsible, then who is? My time is short. What is left of my life is slipping away so fast that I have not even seen joy. My life is passing swiftly, like a swift ship, like an eagle swooping down to capture its prey. Even though I say, I will ignore it all, I will look only on the bright side and try to keep a smile. All these misfortunes still eat away at me inside, for I know that I will have no relief or peace. I have already been declared guilty. What good will protests do? Even if I scrubbed myself all over and washed myself with the best soap I could find, I would be pushed into a bottomless pit until the stench was unbearable. God is not a man like me. He is not my equal for me to face in court. How I wish there were an arbitrator who could mediate, who could break God's deadly grip on me and free me from this terror so that I could breathe again. Then I would raise my voice and present my case boldly. But as things stand, there is no chance. I can no longer bear this life. I can no longer bear it. So I let it all out, holding nothing back. Every complaint and bitterness of my soul. Job prayed, I will present what is in my heart. God, do not declare me guilty without letting me know what the charge is. You yourself created me and said I was good. So why do you put me through so much suffering? Do you reject those you molded with your own hands and bless the schemes of the wicked? Do you not see as we mortals do? Do you look only at appearances? You are not limited by time as we are. You have all eternity to do your work. So why do you search for guilt and sin in me, as if you were looking for a needle in a haystack? You know that I am not guilty. You also know that no one can help me. You formed me like a vessel with your own hands, but now you are going to break me into little pieces. Do you remember that work you made with the clay? Now will you grind me to dust? Oh, the marvelous conception, the meeting of the masculine and the feminine. What a miracle! Skin and bones, muscle and brain. You gave me life. Unfathomable love followed me closely until I took a breath. But you never told me this part of the story, nor did you imagine there would be more. That if I took a step, you would see and not let anything pass. If I am truly guilty, I am lost, but if I am innocent, it is no better. I remain lost. Bitterness flows within me. I am completely immersed in grief. I try to defend myself as best I can, but you are too strong for me, implacable as a lion on the prowl. It is impossible. You always find new witnesses against me, and your anger only increases and accumulates on my pain. So why did you give me birth? I wish no one had ever seen me. I wish I had never lived, had been buried without ever having breathed. Couldn't I end the discussion of my life now? Could you give me a break so that I can smile for a moment before I die and am buried, before I'm in a closed coffin, banished without return to the land of the dead, where by darkness I will be hidden? It was the turn of Zophar of Namath to speak. What a multitude of words. Isn't it time to put an end to them? Would it be good to allow this uncalled for speech? Do you think you can go on talking without us saying anything? Do you think we will tolerate your insults and mockery in silence? You claim, my doctrine is perfect and my conduct is impeccable. Oh, if God would split his mind and tell him what he thinks of you. I wish he would show you what true wisdom is. For true wisdom is full of complexity. But be sure of this. You have not yet received even half of what you deserve. Do you think you can explain the mysteries of God? Do you think you can sketch a profile of the Almighty? God is far higher than your mind, deeper than you can comprehend. He extends beyond the horizons of the earth, far greater than all the ocean and sea. If he orders you to be arrested or dragged to court, what can you do? He sees through lies from afar and recognizes evil from a distance. No one deceives God. Thus, the ignorant will only be wise the day the mule learns to talk. But rest assured, if you open your heart, ask God for help, and stretch out your hands to him, if you wash away sin from your hands and refuse to welcome evil into your home, you will be able to face the world without shame and walk safely without fear or guilt. You will forget your troubles. They will pass away and will be nothing more than vague memories. The sun will rise and shine for you, and every shadow will be dispelled at the break of dawn. Once more, full of hope, you will rest, look around, and enjoy complete security, well settled and without any major worries. Many will seek you out because of so much blessing, but the wicked will see none of this. They will continue to go downhill, with nowhere to go, no hope, only certain death. Job replied, "You speak like experts. It would seem that when you die, there will be no one left to teach others how to live. But remember that I think so too, and you are no better than I. Well, you don't need to be an expert to know these things. I am being ridiculed by my friends, so this is the man who talked to God, ridiculed without mercy or pity. Look at the man who never made a mistake. It is easy for those who are well off to accuse, for the prosperous to despise those who are worse off. The dishonest live in safety, in fortresses, and those who insult God live in luxury. They pay an idol for protection. But ask the animals, let them teach you. The birds can tell you what is going on. Look at the earth, learn the basics from it. Listen to the fish in the sea. They will tell you what they know. Is it not clear that they all agree that God is sovereign and that everything is in his hands, every living soul, every breathing creature? The ear distinguishes words, just as the palate distinguishes food. Do you think that old people have a monopoly on wisdom? That it is necessary to grow old to understand life? True wisdom and legitimate power belong to God. From him, we learn how to live and why to live. If he overthrows something, it is for real. If he imprisons someone, there is no escape. If he withholds rain, drought prevails. If he releases water, everything is flooded. Power and success belong to God. Both the deceived and the deceiver must answer to him. He strips experts of their credentials, exposes judges as fools without judgment. He strips kings of their fine clothes and ties a rag around their waists. He strips priests of their robes and dismisses high officials from their posts. He silences the voice of the wise and takes away the common sense and wisdom of the elders. He despises the noble and disarms the strong and the mighty. He illuminates what is hidden in deep and dark places, and turns darkness into the light of noonday. He makes nations rise and die. He increases a people and scatters them. He takes away the reason of the rulers of the world and makes them wander through aimless lands. They grope in the dark, staggering like drunkards. Yes, I have seen with my own eyes, I have heard with my own ears, and I have understood all this. All that you know, I know too. Therefore I am not inferior to any of you. I will present my case directly to the Almighty. Now I will appeal to God. I have already presented it to you, and what have you done? You have humiliated me with lies. You are a bunch of charlatans, you are worthless. If you would only keep quiet, you would show wisdom. Listen now as I present my case. Consider my point of view. Or are you going to continue lying in the name of God, making up stories to defend him? Why do you take sides with him? Do you think he needs a defense attorney? What would happen if you were in the dock? Your lies would convince a jury, but what about God? He would intervene immediately if he discovered bias in your testimony. Does not his splendor make you panic? Are you not afraid to lie so blatantly before God? Your statements are airy wisdom that should go to the gutter. So hold your tongue while I speak. I am prepared for any and all consequences. Why do I always get into trouble when I try to take charge of my life? Because even if he kills me, I still trust in him. But in fact, to the end, I will defend my innocence. Just wait and see my defense. If I were really guilty, do you think I would do this? Who, being wicked, would have the courage to appear before God? You should pay attention to what I say. Listen carefully with both ears wide open. Now that I have presented my defense, I am sure that I will be acquitted. Can anyone prove the charges against me? If so, I will keep quiet and may die. Please God, I have 2 requests. Grant them, and I will know that I can count on you. First, take away my afflictions, for the terror is too much. Second, speak directly to me, so that I can answer, or let me speak, and you will answer me. How many sins have been recorded against me? Please show me what wrong I have done. Why do you hide and remain silent? Why do you treat me as an enemy? Why do you kick me like an old tin can? Why do you kick a dead dog? I know you have a long list of my mistakes, sins that go back to my youth. You chain me so that I cannot move. You watch my every move and observe my every step. Man corrodes like rotting wood and moth-eaten clothing. Man is so fragile. His life is short and full of anguish. Like a flower that blooms and soon withers, as fleeting as the shadow of a cloud. And why do you waste your time on me, such an insignificant being? Why do you bother to drag me to court? There is no point in arguing. Do you expect anything from us? Man's life is so limited. You already know, for you have decided our lifespan. You have set the limits, and no one can cross them. Then give it a little rest until the appointed days are fulfilled. At least for the tree there is always hope. Cut it down and it still has a chance. It will sprout again, even if its roots are old and twisted and its trunk dies in the earth. As soon as it feels the water, it comes back to life. It sprouts and grows like a new plant. But what about the human being? He dies and there is no turning back. He breathes his last and everything is over. As the water of a lake evaporates and the riverbed dries up, so man lies down and will never rise. Why do you not simply bury me and forget me for a while until your anger has subsided? You could set a time when you will remember me again. If man dies, will he live again? I ask, through all these difficult days, do I keep waiting for the day when I will receive deliverance? Longing for the creature you made, you will call to me and I will answer. You will watch every step I take, but you will not count how much I have erred. My sins will be tied up in a sack and thrown into the sea. They will sink to the bottom of the ocean. But just as the mountain can crumble and the rocks shift, the waters wear away the stones and the ground erodes, our hope is reduced to dust. You are too much for us and you always have the last word. Our annoyance, therefore, is seen in our faces. But you send us away anyway. Whether our children turn out well or badly, we never know, nor will we ever know. We only have to feel our own pain and mourn our own suffering. Eliphaz the Temanite spoke for the second time. If you were truly wise, you would not talk nonsense. You would not throw words to the wind. Nor would you speak such nonsense in such a serious discussion as this. Look at you. You trivialize everything. You turn spiritual matters into idle talk. Your sin has taught you to speak this way. You have chosen to adopt the language of a scoundrel. Your words betray your guilt, and it is not I who say so, but you yourself betray yourself. Do you think you are the first to face this? Were you born before the mountains were created? Were you there when God created everything? Do you think you know everything? What do you know that we don't? What discernment do you have that we lack? Gray beards and gray hair mean nothing. There are people older than your father on our side. Are God's promises not enough, and our tender words not comforting? Why do you allow your emotions to get the better of you? Do you have to go around kicking and spitting fire in every direction in rebellion against God? How can you let words like that come out of your mouth? Do you think it is possible for a mere mortal to be blameless in God's eyes? How can a poor mortal think he is right? Why, God does not trust even the angels. Not even the heavens are completely pure in his eyes. How much more so we humans, filthy and corrupt, who drink wickedness like water? I have a few things to tell you. Pay attention. I will speak from my own experience. It is what wise people have always taught, without any reservations about what they learned from their parents long ago, when they owned this entire land. For those who live according to their own laws, not God's, there is nothing but anguish, and the longer they live, the worse their situation becomes. Every little thing, even a small noise, frightens them. When they finally think they are at peace, disaster strikes. They despair, because the situation never improves. They live with a noose around their necks. They walk here and there looking for something to eat. Every day is a day of judgment. They live in constant terror, always backed up against the wall, because they insist on raising their fists against God, defying the Almighty, constantly fighting with God, and always being on the defensive. Even if they seem to be in good health, cheerful and jovial, they will end their days in places of ruins. They will sleep in shacks that are run down, falling apart. They will never prosper, nor will they be able to save money, and then death. Do not think that they will escape. Their end will be like a dry bush. A light breath from God will be enough to knock them down. There is a lesson here. Those who invest in lies will receive them with interest, paid all at once, before the due date. What an investment! They will be like fruit destroyed before it ripens, like a flower bud plucked before it blooms. The wicked are fruitless, they have no value. The life built on bribes will fall apart. They unite carnally with sin and generate wickedness. From their womb only deceit springs. Then Job defended himself. I have heard more than I could bear. You are fake comforters. Does this nonsense never end? What is the problem with you? Why do you insist so much on this? If you were in my shoes, I could even speak the same way, pour out a bunch of sermons and force you to listen to everything. But I would never do that. I would console them, comfort them, try to make things better, not worse. When I speak, I don't feel better. If I keep quiet, it doesn't help either. I'm exhausted. God, you have destroyed me and my family. I'm dry, I'm just skin and bones. Thus you show the world that you are against me. When I look in the mirror, I see a testimony of what you have done to me. Your anger tears me apart. Your teeth tear me to pieces and my enemies glare at me. People point fingers at me, ridicule me, and beat me. Everyone joins in persecuting me, and God just looks on and lets the wicked do it. They do whatever they want with me. I was minding my own business calmly when God struck me. He grabbed me by the neck and threw me from side to side. He singled me out as a target and surrounded me with archers ready to shoot without mercy or pity. They have struck me with their arrows, and now I am wounded, and the ground is stained with blood. He has destroyed me again and again. He has fallen upon me like a brave fighter. I have put on mourning clothes and prostrated myself with my face to the ground. My eyes are red from weeping, and look at the circles under my eyes. I am like this, although I have never hurt a soul, and my prayers are sincere. O earth, do not hide the evil that has been done to me. Do not stifle my weeping or my protest. Know that there is one in heaven who knows the truth about me, an advocate who can clear my name, my protector, my friend. While the tears in my eyes are shed before God, he defends a poor mortal before God, as one defends a great friend, for there are only a few years left before I take the path of no return. My spirit is weakened. My days are exhausted. The grave is open before me. Do you see these mockers who surround me? How much longer must I endure them? O God, I need your help. I need your assurance, for you are the only one who can do this. These people are no help at all. You know how insane they can be. Do not let them emerge victorious. Those who betray their own friends will teach wickedness to their children. God, you have put me in the mouths of the people, and they spit in my face. I can barely see from crying. I am nothing but skin and bones. The upright cannot believe their eyes, and the good-hearted are convinced that I have given up on God. But those with principles stand firm, and those with clean hands will grow stronger. Do you still have something to say? Do you want to try again? So far I have found no wisdom in your words. My life is about to end. All my plans are ruined. The flame of my hope is extinguished. They say that night will turn to day, and that dawn is about to break. But if all I hope for is to go to the cemetery, if my only hope for comfort is the grave, if I will rot after I am buried, and worms will be my only companions, how can you talk about hope? Will anyone help me find it? No, hope will be buried with me. We will rest together in the ground. Bildad the Shuahite chimed in. Let's stop playing with these words. Honestly, be reasonable, and we can talk. And why do you treat your friends like animals? You look at us as if we didn't know anything. Why do you think so highly of yourself? Do you want the whole world to adapt to you? Should it change for your sake? The rule is this. The light of the wicked goes out. Its brightness diminishes and is extinguished. Their house is darkened, and the lamp of their life is snuffed out. Their strong steps become unsteady, and they stumble over their own traps. They become entangled in their own ambush. Their feet are caught, tightly caught in the snare. They stumble over the ropes they have hidden and fall into the pit they have dug for themselves. Terror comes from every side. They run as fast as they can. Afflictions are ready to devour them. Misfortune is about to lay its claws upon them. They are torn from the comfort of their home, sweet home, and taken straight to the abode of death. Their lives go up in smoke. Fire and brimstone spread over their ruins. Their roots rot and their branches wither. They will be remembered no more. They will be buried as paupers, nameless. They are cast out of the light into darkness, utterly banished from the world. And they come up empty-handed, without a single child, nothing to show for their life on earth. From the east to the west, all are terrified and horrified at their end. See, this is what happens to the wicked. This is the end of those who ignore God.